knows how you come across somebody once in a while you shouldn't have messed with. That's me.
Well,
I am not an African American.
You're Oreo cookie, white in the inside and black on the outside.
I don't have an afro, I have an Amerifro.
Talking that idiotic stuff you talk about, I would slap you.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Black as the ace of spades, but 100% American.
Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. The Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Thank you for being with me. Talking about the debate last night, Juan Williams talking to Newt about work and black folks.
You also said poor kids lack a strong work ethic and proposed having them work as janitors in their schools. Can't you see that this is viewed at a minimum as insulting to all Americans, but particularly to black Americans?
No, I don't see that.
That's right. Wow.
New York City pays their janitors an absurd amount of money because of the union. You could take one janitor and hire 30-some kids to work in the school for the price of one janitor, and those 30 kids would be a lot less likely to drop out. They would actually have money in their pocket. They'd learn to show up for work. They could do light janitorial duty. They could work in the cafeteria. They could work in the front office. They could work in the library. They'd be getting money, which is a good thing if you're poor. Only the elites despise earning money.
But Governor,
I hope Juan Williams is just joking. What a dumb question. That's a dumb question, but a perfect answer. Wow. And then here's Juan Williams asking Newt about the food stamp president. Newt called Obama food stamp president, which is true again. Here's that conversation.
the suggestion that you made was about a lack of work ethic. You saw some of this reaction during your visit to a black church in South Carolina.
Right on.
You saw some of this during your visit to a black church in South Carolina, where a woman asked you why you refer to President Obama as the food stamp president. It sounds as if you are seeking to belittle people.
Well, first of all, Juan, the fact is that more people have been put on food stamps by Barack Obama than any president in American history. Now, I know among the politically correct, you're not supposed to use facts that are uncomfortable. Here's my point. I believe every American of every background has been endowed by their Creator with the right to pursue happiness, and if that makes liberals unhappy, I'm going to continue to find ways to help poor people learn how to get a job, learn how to get a better job, and learn someday to own the job.
Wow. I mean, that's old school teaching. These people don't want black people to work. They don't want them to get on their feet. They don't want them to earn their way. They want them on government. Just imagine if black Americans were to stand up, work hard, earn their way, save their money, be responsible. There would be no Democratic Party. There would be no liberals. Excellent response. I can't disagree with Newt. Honesty and excellent in his response to Juan Williams. Juan Williams thinks that it's degrading for Newt to say that these black children can work as janitors in the schools, and it does help create a sense of independency. You make money, you learn to be responsible, and as he said, because these janitors are unionized now, they make buku money. Janitors make real money. Be not deceived. And Juan Williams seems to think that that's a put down, and so I have to argue the illegal alien situation in that a lot of folks are saying, well, if we didn't let the illegal aliens come over here, who's going to do, those type of jobs? How will we get that work done? I still believe that there are people in this country who would do the work because the salaries would go up, right? But I have to admit, there are a whole lot of black people, truckloads of black people who would not do those type of jobs. They'd rather be on welfare. They'd rather rely on the government. As a matter of fact, we have a soundbite for you where a man out of Memphis, Tennessee called into this show one day and said, it's better to be on the welfare than it is to work for minimum wage. I want you to hear that just to remind you. Alan, you said that you would rather get a welfare check from the government as a man rather than taking a minimum wage job.
With no health care.
With no health care. What a sad commentary. What happened to black men that they feel this way? It wasn't like that when I was growing up, folks. We worked minimum wage jobs and didn't even think about health care. What does that mean? So you're not going to work for yourself because you can't get minimum wage? Health care? That's insane. Where is this stuff leading to? I told you that most black people are lazy and trifling and they've been spoiled. They have been destroyed within and they don't have that common sense anymore. And this is what happens when you turn your life over to someone else. Let someone think for you, do for you, you lose yourself. When I become president, the 8th thing that I would do, I'm going to take not all, but most black people back to the South, and they're going to have to work plantations again so they can get themselves back. I'm going to put them all to work. They're going to have to plow the fields, pick the cotton, milk the cows, whatever it takes. They're going to have to work so that they can learn what it means to be a person and not some project for the Democratic Party to use for their own personal gain. I'm going to bring shame back into the lives of black Americans because I can honestly tell you, for the most part, they have no shame at all. If Newt would have been back in the good old days running for president, he would be president already because black Americans and most Americans would agree with what he's saying about these issues. How do you get black folks to see, really, truly see that they are living on a plantation, that they're on the plantation of the Democratic Party? How do you get them to see the number of them who are relying on government and know that is wrong? How do you get a little over 90% of black people to see that it's not normal, that so many of them are in one party, year in and year out? How do you get them to see that? How do you get them to see that they're being lied to day in and day out for the purpose of using them? How do you get black people to see that something is wrong in the way that they're living and the way that they're being controlled and that they don't have control of their own lives? Because they're truly locked in. They defend that position more so than they would Christ himself. They're upset when you try to remind them that they are being used, they're being taken advantage of, that they are deliberately being held down, that the right thing to do is to wake up from that and take care of yourself. They get mad about that. Isn't that like amazing? It's as though they do not want you to wake them up. Don't wake us up. Let us stay asleep. This is what the blacks are saying. We love relying on the government. We love being used. We love being immoral. It's an amazing thing. 2 more hours to go. Hollywood Updates coming up next.
Gotta get out of here, get it all off my mind. And like a memory from your grandpa's attic, a song comes slipping through the